Good afternoon and welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We'll be coming to you live from the Singapore FinTech Festival. Joining me for this segment we have Tinku Gupta. She's the Executive Vice President and Head of Technology over at the Singapore Exchange. We are going to focus on the importance of women in the capital markets and FinTech. Tinku, thank you so much for joining us here today. Now, let's get your thoughts on this. How important is it to have women participating in FinTech and the capital markets?
Generally, it is just not about women. It's really about diversity, right? Because, and it's not just about a buzzword. It's being spoken about very widely. It sounds like it's a buzzword, but it is more than that. The impact of diversity, and particularly women, therefore, which forms a very important part of this whole diversity thing, is that it actually helps innovation. It helps creativity, it improves the company's brand value, it looks into creating better customer loyalty because you have different parts, in the customer you have men and you have women, so you just can't really think of a very one-sided view about what it is. So therefore, and that's where FinTech is coming from, right? It is about opportunities, it is about ideas, it is about bringing different things, it is about inclusion, it is about bringing things together, and women actually plays a very important role. So, I have to say that it's pretty instrumental that woman plays an important role when it comes to FinTech.
Because it offers another point of view as well. It's not so one-sided. Well, what can organizations do more to work with local universities to help recruit talent?
So I think when you talk about women, right, it's really three parts. First, you have to talk about how do you make sure you're working on the hiring part well. Then you have to put your focus in actually growing them within the organization,
right.
And both are required because university is just not about building that skill within the country. So you have to go and find out why women, because what we see now is less women are taking IT careers. So why is that so? And how do you actually go to the industry and kind of see that what is lacking in that education part of it, and that actually excites women to take IT as one of their disciplines and then work on that, right? So university plays a very important role, and so does industry with the university, where you go and talk to the university to say how they can encourage more women to take IT as education. And then when they are into your workforce, you have to constantly help and support them in terms of how do you retain them, because it need not really be about women, what do they actually need in their workplace to make it very exciting for them, to make them thrive in their job. And then lastly would be then how do you support their growth within the organization. So you almost need the three, and university is the first stepping stone there. That, how do you educate them to get into the workforce?
Right, because I would imagine one of the challenges, as you had mentioned before, for corporations is developing their careers, of course retaining them, particularly in the FinTech space, because there's a lot of demand for that right now, which is great for employees because they have significant opportunities out there, but I would imagine that companies are really concerned about retention of good female employees.
Yeah, actually it's because it's not one size fits all, right? So men would need some kind of things to stay in an organization, women may need something else. And I would say actually women has less demands than men, just probably a very inclusive environment, an environment where people are willing to listen to differentiating view, maybe a little bit of female talks here and there, and fostering that environment that yes, that is the other side of it. So therefore we cannot work on a one size fits all on retention, and tailoring certain retention program for women, more work-life balance, maybe coming back, coming to work late, maybe, having, I have seen some companies where big Silicon Valley companies and at the same time, IT companies, they're actually having little creches within the office where people, women can keep their children, because naturally it is a very female instinct that, you need to really multitask so much between home and work. So you have to almost bring that home to work.
Right. Well, would you also say that it's about men and women working together, because you don't necessarily want to isolate focusing exclusively on women, because that just adds to the situation.
Right, yeah. I think the main thing here is we always have two options, and we have, of course, many options, but you can actually do the different things with same kind of people. You can also do the same thing with different kind of people. And that's really what it is, because if you try to do the same thing, keeping all of these diversity elements together, and that's where you create the innovation and creativity and options.
Tinku, thank you so much for that valuable insight. And thank you for joining me throughout the day. We're coming to you live from the Singapore FinTech Festival. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.